So, Emma, baby, I want them be you are Madonna, and your men may worry amount. Alajini, Jones, you are choose.
No Ababa said, Alaji number one.
Alaji number one.
Sure.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink adds a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva Pop and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
There are situations in life that teaches us to be better in our next chapter. Our guest, Empress Gifty, shares some takeaways from hers.
I've learned how to forgive. I have learned how to respect a man as a husband. I need to make my home so lovely for my husband and my kids to feel comfortable.
Hey, Mr. You're enjoying it. I'm jealous.
And just when you need the help, God sends it. But of course, through humans.
I went to Kwame and said, Kwame, I have something for you. He said, oh, Empress, what about something so when you asked me, say, Kwame, I need to see you. I said, okay, let's go to the studio. So he just sat on the keyboard. Oh, Kwame started playing something. I said, oh, I did all kakoma.
Now, to spice up the evening, we have some engaging activities for you to try. You can call it a bonding time.
Really?
They will show at it like
Smile.
So, make a date with Frema Idunyami and Nana Tufo on the Upside Down Show this Sunday at 7 p.m. prompt, only on Channel 1 TV. You do not want to miss out on the fun and lessons we will share with you on the show. Now remember, Upside Down is proudly sponsored by Sky Mineral Water.
Every footprint tells a story from every walk of life. They faced challenges, celebrated victories, and made their mark on the world. Welcome to Footprints, where we walk through the incredible journeys of extraordinary people. Join us every Friday at 7 p.m. as we dive into the lives of those who've left indelible marks. It's not just about where you end up, but how you got there. Footprints, celebrating the paths that shape us all. This and every Friday at 7 p.m. only on Channel 1 TV.
Does anyone know what this outfit is called? That's right, kente. We need to learn about the history and origin of kente, and then I'll tell you why this spider is next to me. But guess what? Now we're going to meet a real kente weaver and we're going to see how kente is made. Now it's time for our activity. We have an art activity. You definitely don't want to miss the Wonder Space Show with Miss Natalie.
Watch the Wonder Space Show on Saturdays at 12 noon only on Channel 1 TV.
Hello, you're welcome to What the Papers Are Saying. Thank you for joining us and making time to be part of the show today. We'll go through the big stories for the week. When we come back, I'll introduce my guests for today. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. So which stories made headlines for this week? One of the big stories, still one of the big, is to do with parliamentary proceedings and the happenings from the Supreme Court all the way to who is the current majority or the current minority. So let's see how that story panned out, especially because the Speaker had to adjourn the House again on Thursday morning. Daily Graphic, no constitutional crisis, Speaker of Parliament assures nation. Ghanaian Times, you are undermining Parliament. Bagbin accuses executive, judicial arms of government. The Anchor, Speaker Bagbin takes on judiciary. Executive says there is not constitutional crisis in Ghana. Channel1news.com, Bagbin adjourns Parliament indefinitely after NPP caucus boycott recall. Channel1news.com, punish NPP MPs for causing financial loss to the state. This is Ato Forson speaking. And then citynewsroom.com, Bagbin supervising chaos, undermining democracy, Afenyo Makin. Let's move away from that. We'll take you to another story that started making some headlines from the weekend, having to do with security and some robbery at Adabraka here in the Greater Accra region. The Ghanaian Times says jewelry shop attack, sacks of cash stolen amid gunshots. The Custodian, police chase jewelry robbers. Daily Guide, Adabraka robbery, we will get to them. This is the police assuring. CityNewsroom.com, Zanata Rollins decries rampant robbery incidents in Adabraka. Channel1news.com, we will tirelessly work to arrest Adabraka robbery suspects, the police speaking over there. Away from that, we'll move to Bawku. Some clashes over there leading to the death of people. Actually, a lot of issues coming out from that place. We'll start with a new publisher. Bawku killings reached 21. Driver shot, car burned over the weekend. Today newspaper, Bawku conflict death toll now reaches 21 as one more person is killed. Channel1news.com, Bawku 61-year-old man killed. Death toll now at 22. Still with citynewsroom.com, military reopens municipal assembly offices locked up in Bawku. We'll move away from Bawku. Let's bring you some stories around the general elections as all the political parties intensify their campaign. We start with Daily Guide. EC presents certified voters register to parties. Daily Searchlight, 2024 election, Imani shreds NDC and MPP manifestos as vague. The Custodian, Baumia outlines plans to create 4 million jobs. The Ghanaian Times, upcoming 2024 presidential elections, our handover to winner, President assures nation. The New Independent, I'll bring exchange rate below 5 cities. Alan assures Ghanaians as he promises to fix broken economy. Channel1news.com, back NPP's vision for national progress, NAPO. And then finally with that story, we'll take you to citynewsroom.com. Election 2024, vote out NPP for us to reset Ghana. Professor Opoku Ajiman speaking. We'll move away from that, and of course, the final big story for this week has to do with the U.S. elections. How did that pan out, and how did we capture that story here in Ghana? We'll start with the Ghanaian Times. U.S. election, Trump makes sweeping comeback as U.S. vows to deepen relations with Ghana regardless of polls outcome. Channel1news.com, U.S. elections, Donald Trump wins presidency. And finally, on the U.S. elections, Go to citynewsroom.com. Election 2024, Trump's victory, a good omen for U.S. This is the NDC speaking. So those are the big stories for the week. I'll be right back to introduce my guests. Stay with us.
In the heart of our communities, change is not just a dream, it's a promise.
I don't have to worry about rising costs and taxes. Dr. Bawumia's flat rate tax system is a breath of fresh air. It means I can keep more of what I earn and invest back into my business.
I've seen so many changes in my lifetime, but what matters most is to feel secured. Dr. Bawumia's initiative for the elderly is to make sure we are not forgotten. He's giving us the exact care that we deserve.
With digital skills training, I am no longer worried about the future. Dr. Bawumia empowers us to thrive in a digital world, making us ready for tomorrow's jobs.
Job opportunities are crucial for my generation. Dr. Bawumia is committed to creating job opportunities and entrepreneurship. With his vision, we can build our dreams.
Together, we can transform our nation. Dr. Bawumia's plan arranges policies. They are pathway for prosperity for every Ghanaian.
It's time for leadership that listens and acts. A vision for all of us, where every voice matters and every dream is possible. Vote Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Esoroho. Vote number 1 on the ballot.
There are situations in life that teaches us to be better in our next chapter. Our guest, Empress Gifty, shares some takeaways from hers.
I've learned how to forgive. I have learned how to respect a man as a husband. I need to make my home so lovely for my husband and my kids to feel comfortable.
Hey, Mr. Ade, you're enjoying it. I'm jealous.
And just when you need the help, God sends it. But of course, through humans.
I went to Kwame and said, Kwame, I have something for you. He said, oh, Empress, what about something so when you he said, Kwame, I need to see you. I said, okay, let's go to the studio. So he just sat on the keyboard. Oh. Kwame started playing something. I said, oh. I did all kakoma.
Now, to spice up the evening, we have some engaging activities for you to try. You can call it a bonding time.
Jobili. They will show at it like smile.
So, make a date with Frema Idunyami and Nana Tufo on the Upside Down Show this Sunday at 7 p.m. prompt, only on Channel 1 TV. You do not want to miss out on the fun and lessons we will share with you on the show. Now remember, Upside Down is proudly sponsored by Sky Mineral Water.
You're welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. In the studio with me today, I have Selim Adonu. He works with us here at Channel 1 TV as well as City FM. Selim, welcome.
Thank you, Vivian.
I also have with me Sami Biafi, also with us here at Channel 1 TV as well as City FM. Sami, welcome.
Hi, Vivian. Hi.
Right. So, gentlemen, we'll zoom in quickly to two troubling stories, and then, of course, we'll go to Parliament. We will do quickly the Bawku conflict, something that is pretty troubling based on what we're getting there in terms of the reports. If you look at the new publisher, for example, it says the Bawku killings reached 21, driver shot, car burnt over the weekend. Same with the Today newspaper, says the death toll is now at 21. Just this week, a 61-year-old person was killed, which pushed the death toll to 22. Very, very troubling. It was a bit quiet for some time, and then the chief came back in, and all this just is blowing up in our faces.
I know people have asked questions. How come the security agencies, sat down for this chief to come back to the Bawku township, knowing very well how volatile the whole area is and the violent situation the area is. But till today, no one has been able to give proper explanation as to how come this chief, whose legitimacy is being challenged, was able to find his way into the Bawku area, and his arrival is causing all the trouble that we are experiencing as of now. As you mentioned, the death toll rising to 22 as of now. I've always said, and I still maintain that the only people who can resolve this Bawku crisis is the Bawku people themselves. Any external person or institution cannot in any way resolve this matter, because anybody who tries to make an attempt to resolve this matter is tagged as supporting one side or the other. So I've always said that allow the elders and the people in Bawku themselves to resolve this particular matter. And if we should allow them to resolve it, we will have lasting peace in this area. I started hearing Bawku crisis when I was in secondary school, and till today I'm still hearing the Bawku crisis, which is troubling for almost everybody who hears anything about Bawku. From the imposition of curfews, it never worked. The military is stationed there for a number of years. We are still seeing situations there, and the sad aspect is that national security ministers over over government have visited the area, draw up strategies and how to deal with the Bawku situation, and it's still the same way as we find it. And I remember in 2020, we happened to visit Bawku for a report, and you could feel the tension in Bawku Township. And you realize that, wow, the place is not really safe. Even coming out of our hotel and going to town to go and do what we are supposed to do, it was a bit scary for us, but we were able to pull through it and get our things done, and then we left the Bawku Township because we don't know what might happen the next moment. And the more we keep this military personnel there, the more we spend huge sums of money maintaining them there. Recently, there was a document which was circulating. The government was spending close to 5 million a month, on just maintaining the peace in Bawku. This money could have been used to build facilities needed in that township for these same people. So, Vivian, for me, I maintain that Bawku crisis can end if the people themselves are willing to end the crisis. I had the Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister, Stephen Asoma address the press conferences that they are going to involve the Asante Hene and other prominent chiefs to address the matter like they did with the Dagbon crisis. So the plan is that if they also intervene, they can resolve this particular matter. I'm just hoping and praying that they were able to do so. Aside that, I think the people in Bawku themselves should be in a position to help bring peace to Bawku. Bawku is always in the news. And anytime it's in the news, it's for the wrong reasons. Either someone is dying, or they bend down, a house or a car, or you hear shooting incidents up in there. And drawing closer to our election, we had one of the chiefs there banning political activities within the Kusal enclave, which is made up of some 6 constituencies. And it is sad that doesn't mean that these people or these areas will not vote in the election. I think it's about time we put a finality to this Bawku matter and let peace reign in Bawku. That's what I can say on that.
Shalom, any end in sight? I mean, the Chief Justice had to shut down some of the courts around the place just to protect, judiciary staff. We've seen a lot of institutions as well shut down and all that, banks shutting down, everybody actually leaving the town to a ghost town because of the serious things we've seen. We saw a gentleman who, came to pick his father's corpse, ended up being shot himself. And a lot of troubling, developments over there. Any end in sight with all these troubles?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation. Anything that would take the life of anybody is not good. We've had this perennial conflict in this day and age over, the people in the Kosovo traditional area have a right of self-determination to decide who rules them, or who leads them, or who governs them. This whole thing about you are our slaves, or we are your lords, and all of that, it may be steeped in history, but in this day and age where there's the quest for self-determination, etc., I think some of these old traditional practices must give way to modernism. I mean, that's at the heart of the matter, and so the Mamprusis and the Kusasis, part of the Mamprusis are in the former northern region and all of that. And there's a traditional leader there who thinks that he has oversight over the Kosol traditional area, the Bawku, etc. And so installs a chief, even though there were issues. There is a recognized chief in Bawku, Adabraka Azoka II. And there were conversations and rumors about the overlord in Mamprusi also installing another chief who will take care of the Bawku area. And that has been the key issue. Of course, that was not going to happen, and the peace surely in the area was going to be disturbed. So I think government tried to preempt it, but it went. The government said anybody who tried to install a chief or causes trouble there will be chased out or will be arrested. And I think government did quite well in that respect. Only that the installation was done, and this gentleman was wanted, became a wanted person. Indeed, the overlord who did the installation, there was an arrest warrant issued for him. And I think it created some issues when the police went to the house to arrest him, or the palace to arrest him. It created quite some issues. Of course, the youth were not going to sit down to allow their overlord to be arrested in a matter as this related to the Kosol traditional area. So that happened. And so for a long time, this gentleman who was installed was on the run or could not go to the Bawku area because there was an arrest warrant for him. I mean, they went to court in and out, etc. And then they got the arrest warrant vacated. And I think the Attorney General appealed, and later I think withdrew the appeal, etc. Once that appeal was withdrawn, the gentleman was now a free person. So he went to the Bawku area. So once he got to the Bawku area, this happened, So I think the state has a duty to ensure the people there are safe. But like Sami said, principally, the people themselves must resolve that we want to make peace. These are people who share a common history, and it should not get to that. But if they don't want to make peace, the system must ensure that they do not hurt themselves, they do not destroy property, etc. I think it's unfortunate. We saw a similar thing in Dagbon, but the Committee of Eminent Chiefs tried to bring some resolution to that. I think a similar thing should be done. Not everybody will be entirely happy, but the right thing has to be done. And what is right, I think, must be imposed upon them, and that must be done. Bawku is taking so much of our natural resource. I mean, national resources. Keeping soldiers there, feeding them, ensuring there's peace there, etc. I think it's about 6 million cedis a month. I mean, that money could do a lot of things for the Bawku area alone, even for the whole region, on monthly basis. But that money, we don't see where it goes because it's being used to maintain peace. Yeah. It is not the best of things. And given the sub-region and the location of the area, etc., close to Burkina Faso, which is quite an unstable region, it's not good for our country. It's not good for the national security of our country. I think authorities must sit up and ensure that we have some solution to this at least.
Okay, from Bawku, I'll come to the Greater Accra region. Some troubling developments we saw over the weekend where there were some group of men who attacked a jewelry shop and made away with sacks of cash stolen and made gunshots. Now, if you look at this newspaper, for example, actually, citynewsroom.com, it says Senator Rollins, which is a member of parliament for the area, decries rampant robbery incidents in Accra. As we speak, the police are yet to make any arrests. At least they've not released a statement to say they have and all that. I'm concerned about the statement from the member of parliament who is worried about the rampant robbery incidents there. We know that jewelry shop, for example, this is the second time this incident is happening. A problem with security in that area, isn't there?
It is, and this is Adabraka we are talking about, a very well-known area when it comes to the history of Ghana and even Accra. And even surprisingly, on Saturday, while the robbery was taking place, we were in the office. We're on duty. Yeah. We're in the office. We heard it, but we thought it was knockout. So Caleb and I were like, this knockout is louder than. Yeah. And we're like, this time knockout. So we just we just didn't give any attention to it. And until we saw the videos online, we were like, it was just some few meters away from us. And for the bravery and I don't know which word to use, for this act to go on in the full glare of residents and just a few meters away from a district police station. It's surprising for everyone, because the arguments many people are making is that at least if ordinary citizens hear this and they think it's knockout, the police is or are trained in arms. So when they hear the sounds of arms, you know this is arm. Yeah. You will not think it's a knockout. Yeah. And so for police to hear all these shots, and after how many minutes they didn't show up, and for the robbery to take place and the guys going away with their booty, for the police to now show up, that's the question a lot of people really are asking. And from the eyewitnesses, we spoke to, they said they made an attempt to go to the police station to go and inform that this is happening, but they didn't show up. They only came after 15 minutes when the robbery was, over. Mm-hmm. And my other question is, how can such a huge amount of money be kept in a shop? Apparently, the brother of the owner of the shop says the money was 7.2 million, in a sack. My thinking is that, how can such an amount of money be kept in a shop? Even if you don't take it to the bank, at least it should be kept at home or something. And for the second time such an incident that happened in the same shop, and the first time sacks of money was taken, by the amount we do not know, and then the second time such an amount of money, you would think twice that, wow, why there was a first time robbery, why would I want to keep another amount of money in the shop, the possibility of another one? So both the owner of the shop and others need some questions, need to be questioned and interrogated on how come such a huge amount of money. And it boils down to the entire security of this country. Senator Rawlings was worried that election is closer and we have people with such arms with them. Election is, for want of better, is crazy in Ghana. We know what happened in 2020. Some of these individuals can take the law into their own hands, start frying during election day, kill people, and other things may happen. So we expect the police to come and speak on this matter. Apart from the Saturday when they issued a statement that they're on a manhunt, we haven't heard anything again. We only saw pictures of how they were tracking the vehicle, at every traffic intersection. I saw those pictures. And aside that, we've not heard or seen anything again from the police. So we'll urge them to come out and speak again on this matter. But thankfully enough, we didn't record any casualty. They didn't shoot anybody. And they did or injured anybody.
One of the guys, was injured.
To death.
Okay.
Yeah, to death. Yeah. To death. Aside the driver who sustained some level of injury, we thank God that no one was killed in this way. But my worry is such a huge amount of money, 7.2. Hey, the money is big.
If you get it, you like it.
I just want 2 million. Just 2 million.
So, probably, a question of why they are even transporting the money themselves, not the use of, the proper money people, the bullion vans and all that, and then the era of digitalization. But there are a lot of conspiracy theories over why they are actually, physically having that money and all that. But boils down to the security, how we're handling money and all that as a country.
It's an unfortunate incident, very scary. And I think some people in the area might have been traumatized by how it happened and what is becoming of the security of the state. I mean, a lot of people having weapons or guns, and when guns find themselves or find in the wrong hands, that's what happens. And I think we have to be a lot more conscious in terms of security. I don't understand why all that money should be in the shop, but I think a car brought it and money was taken to the shop, I don't know. But it clearly means that the guys had information. The way the thing was meant that the guys had information. Yeah. So, we don't have to be transporting that amount of money, but usually some of these monies, because it's difficult to trace them, you can't just take it to the bank. So they will have to find a way of washing it before it gets to the bank. So this is a jewelry shop. I'm sure they deal in gold and other things. So yes, now gold shop brings money, that sounds good. You know, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate, and it's something the security agencies must be thinking about, and the security people must be up and doing. About the police station being close to the scene, yes, it's indeed a fact. But if you look at how the police people work, it is not any kind of police person that faces any kind of fire. So yes, a police station could be there, but the guys in the charge office at that material moment could not face armed people who were shooting around. Nobody would do that. So they will have to quickly call the patrol team, who are specially trained for that purpose. The patrol team may not be at Adabraka at the moment, or they are not at the police station. So I'm sure that's why it took them some effort or some time to arrive at the scene. You know, we need to do more. We really, really need to do more if we want this country to be safe. You know, a couple of years ago, many years ago, people used to say that Ghana, you can walk anywhere you want to walk. I remember in 2008, when Ghana hosted that tournament, I had interviews of some of the guys who were walking from the stadium to wherever, and somebody spoke to a Cameroon and said they were happy. They don't feel unsafe. This cannot happen in their country. This cannot happen in some places that you are walking and nobody's attacking you. And they had a lot of praise for Ghana. But I hope that we are not losing that. And I think the agencies of state must take this seriously and ensure that we nip this in the bud. I don't know how they will do it, given our porous borders, given that our systems are not robust and strong. You know, and I'm really, really hoping that they're able to apprehend these guys. I think they were in mask.
Yeah.
So if they're in mask, how are you going to do that? The police, they are trained. And the car they are tracking, I hope that the car was not just a car they saw somewhere and then took. So if it was a stolen car, then it obfuscates the issues. It obfuscates the possibility of getting. If it's a car belonging to them, yes. Once you get the car, you can get some leads. But if it was a car they stole, they will park the car somewhere and walk away, and then you are left with nothing. I really empathize with the victims of this, and I hope the state is up and doing. The police is being too quiet. Let's know. And many things have happened in the past that we've not had resolution to. The Ablekuma bullion van shooting, all of that. I think we need some resolution to this. It doesn't make the system feel safe. Somebody can just kill you, steal your thing, and there is no justice for you. We don't need that. I think we need to equip our police. They need to do better. We need to get competent people into the security service, people who really know or have passion to do the job. And I think if we equip them, things may be better.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll move to Parliament and look at all the angles around matters happening in that house. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world, Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva Pop and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
In a fast-growing urban environment like Accra, safety should not be too far-reaching. It should be as easy as ABC. Hear the real stories from those who now feel safe like never before with Response 1.
We were held at gunpoint in our own home, and they got away with it.
We didn't have Response 1 back then. That was the most terrifying experience of our lives.
But after that, we subscribed to Response 1 to ensure that never happens again. The last time the hoodlums tried, we had installed Response 1 monitored alarm system. Their response team arrived, followed by the police, to ensure we are safe.
Don't wait for tragedy to strike. Protect your home with Response 1's monitored alarm system and our theft protection guarantee. Immediate response, real protection. Response 1. Stay connected, stay protected.
welcome back to What the Papers Are Saying. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. I'm here with Selom Adona as well as Sami Weafi. We're looking at the big stories for the week. Gentlemen, let's go to Parliament. On Thursday, the Speaker adjourned the House, sittings of the House indefinitely again over a number of issues again. This issue appears to be one that we may not see an end to. It looks like the leaders are not talking. It looks like the Speaker himself is not getting involved with some of the issues around what is popping up.
Well, it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I don't even think we should be here in the first place. You see, everybody is drawing their power from the Constitution, which is the right thing to do. The Constitution, as we have, and I've said this many times, other people have said so, it is a political document the same way it is a legal document. So if you have an issue, of course, most of the issues in the Constitution can be dealt with legally. But some of them, if you want to follow the legal approach, you will not make much progress. You solve it politically. You know, you solve it politically. When, how do we call it? Under Oseche Mensah Bonsu, when I think Parliament rejected the budget, yeah, they walked out, but they had a plan. They came back the next day, and they used the parliamentary process itself to get the budget reinstated. They use the political means, and they use the rules of the House to get things done. Okay, but this thing about you know taking an entrenched position, hardline position, yeah, this is what it must be. You know, I don't think we are making any progress. So I'm very surprised that in all this time the sides haven't spoken. You see, there are times the Speaker, he thinks he's doing the right thing. Afenyo thinks he's doing the right thing. But the question is, who, of course, the people of Ghana are losing, but who will lose? You have business to do. The guy is just presiding. And yeah, you have business to do. So sometimes you have to know how to play the game, because in this House of Parliament today, if you want to push things the way you want to do it, you will not get much done. So now, yeah, the Supreme Court is vacated the order and all of that. Now we are not doing business. So the whole idea about minority, majority, so they will change. Now you are not doing business. You are not doing business. So you have things to pass, free SHS bill. You have 1D1F tax exemption things. You have JB Dankwa University. You have some other university things to do. Plenty of things. It's been 2 weeks or almost 3 weeks since this thing started. Nothing has happened. Now, Speaker has adjourned the House indefinitely again. Now, you're going to recall the House. Tomorrow is Friday. I'm not sure. I don't know whether they can get all the signatures by tomorrow. Get it by tomorrow. You submit it to Speaker. Speaker will look at it maybe by Monday. It will take him a number of days. And then he will call the House on a certain date. Then we are getting to the middle or towards the end of November. Then December is just there. So the question is, was it the right thing to do? I mean, the approach, was that the approach? And of course, people have had issues with how the writ itself was filed, etc., raising the point that the act hadn't taken place. And indeed, I heard Apiakubi, Senior Apiakubi Leonard, he said, no, he as a lawyer, he will wait for the act to take place, then he will file. But in this case, they were trying to be preemptive. The act hadn't occurred, they filed. But of course, that's for the Supreme Court to determine and all of that. I think the Supreme Court will come up with a decision that will be good. I really think so. A decision that will be good, and a decision that will address all the things the way they are. But the current impasse is not helping the country. More so, it is not helping the government, because the government has business to do. So what do? This kind of parliament, you don't railroad your way through it. You engage. So when you go to Speaker Wabin's office, yes, you will talk, he may insult you, he may say some things, even though I don't think he will insult you. He may be angry, he will speak his mind, etc. But that is just you and him. Or that's just you leadership. You know, deal with the matters, address things, get a compromise. You know, here we are now. So look at it. Because it's tricks. Everybody understands the tricks. You recall Parliament, 10 o'clock, the venue. Now 10 o'clock, the man is in the chamber. You are not there. Is that a business? What is the business? There is no business. We can't sit there and be looking into the air. So, okay, you are not here. We don't know where you are. I'm adjourning the House again indefinitely.
No, they don't want to.
It is well within, or it was well within the Speaker's power to do so when he's done.
Part of quote unquote chaos.
I don't even see that point. Okay, the people say that is the Speaker they listen to, and that is it. They don't listen to radio or whatever to hear what has been decided. It is the Speaker they listen to. I regard this evening said, well, he doesn't know what the Supreme Court has said. Said he is in Bawku campaigning. There's fight and things. His attention is on many other things. He doesn't know what the Supreme Court has said. How does he hear it? It was the Speaker. They were in Parliament. The Speaker made the ruling. And so they said they expect the Speaker to come and tell them this. So now people are sitting, no problem. Sit where you have to sit. But raise the point and force the Speaker to pronounce on something. And we are all watching. Force the Speaker to pronounce on something. You know, I was in court, so I wanted to know what was happening. And so I said, this thing hasn't happened. So I just took my phone, checked, Speaker adjourned House again. I saw it on somebody's status, actually. I thought it was the old one. I said, no, I checked, and the guy has adjourned the House indefinitely again. You know, so you don't go and you don't engage, you don't do anything. Where were you? And if even you were having a caucus meeting, given the circumstances, what stopped you from informing the Speaker, sending prior message? Majority Leader Afenyaman could walk to the Speaker's office. Oh, Speaker, we are ready, but give us a few minutes. We are doing this. You don't pass it through somebody. Yeah. We will be here. We are just having a caucus meeting for 15-20 minutes. We will join you soon. That is it. So that if Speaker comes to say he doesn't know where people are.
But some are also saying that Speaker could have adjourned for a few hours and found out what was really happening with the other side, who had called for the recall, instead of just indefinitely.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That everybody, it's tricks. Everybody wants to show that, yes, I know what I'm doing, or I have the power. If you want to push me, I can do this. That's what I'm saying. That you can't fault him for doing that. It was within his power to do. He doesn't know where you are, and it's not for him to be looking for you. You said we should come, and we have come, and you are not here. I don't have any prior information where you are. You know, I think that they dropped the ball a bit. If you meet earlier, you said 10 o'clock, and 10 o'clock they are there. You see, so I don't see how this is going to end. And you know, there's ego. So, for example, business meeting. We've not had any business meeting or business committee meeting. What is the business? So you said free SHS bill. Is the bill before the House? Is the agreement, the 1D1F taxes, is it before the House? How do they proceed? We need to know. So the business is listed. How will it be carried out? There are about 10 or 15 items you've listed. So there should have been a meeting. There should have been a meeting. Who calls a meeting? I don't know. But there should have been a meeting to address those. And if you called Parliament and you know the circumstances under which Parliament adjourned or was indefinitely adjourned, you should preempt some of these things and be proactive. So, Speaker, okay, we've not called business meeting, we've not called meeting. What are we doing? You should be proactive because you know that it's a funny situation. At the time the thing is supposed to start, you don't go and cocoon yourselves in a meeting. And some of the people are not even aware of the meeting. Apia Kubi again said he didn't know either. He was not aware. He said he was not aware of any caucus meeting. Of course, Atache also spoke. He didn't categorically say he didn't know about it, but he alluded to the fact that there might be some caucus meeting. So he's trying to go there to find out what was happening. You don't do so at 10 o'clock when you know the meeting was to start at 10 and you know the circumstances surrounding the particular meeting. Now, going to recall Parliament again, there is cost, there is everything. And you see, you know what will happen? So today they said they marshaled about 120 something people. If any people say they won't come or they are not there, you can't do business. So we will not be making progress because I'm not sure they can marshal all 137 MPs or 138 MPs. They cannot because people are busy doing things. Some are not well, some are not in the country, etc. So if NDC wants to be mischievous, they will also not come, so that you will not get a quorum to make decisions. So you will just be there, and the House will be adjourned. They will be doing that, and then the election will come. And the point Afeni was making today, that the NDC side was trying to was trying to impede progress by stopping the free SHS bill 1D1 because they will create jobs for people. Create jobs when? You are not going to give tax exemption. before the people start employing people, before election? I don't see it. When all along this thing hasn't been done, free SHS bill because they don't want to, so that they will cancel it. I don't understand. You've been running this since 2017. Why are you now bringing the bill in the dying days of your administration? You are now bringing the law. All along you've been running the thing without the law, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I mean, I don't understand. It's just politics, and I don't understand it. It's just politics. Okay. The talk about speaker being in contempt of court. Contempt of court in terms of what? What has he done? He hasn't done anything. Contempt, yes, there should be an order. The order should be brought to your notice. Yeah. And you should disrespect the order. When you're able to prove this, then we can look at the matter of contempt. What has speaker done? They said that he should stay his decision.
Yeah.
He hasn't, well, unless you're able to show that the speaker stopped any of the 4 people from entering parliament. I'm not sure the speaker stopped anybody. I believe
to the extent that the other side sat at the conventional spot and him not saying anything about it and all that.
The point is the speaker has to speak officially.
Yeah.
They said that on the order paper there's a place for speaker's comments.
Speaker's comments, yeah.
So indeed, if you were in the house, you could force some comment out of the speaker. That speaker, we hear so and so. Like, you could force a comment, and they know what to do. And if the speaker fails to do, and if the speaker told us yesterday that he doesn't determine where people sit. So he says he doesn't determine where people sit.
Is he being truthful with
No, but you see, that's what I'm saying, that everybody is being legalistic. I'm not sure there's anywhere in the standing order that says that speaker should ensure that people sit here. So it's been a convention they are all following. Nobody tells him that it's your job. And he said, go and look at the rules and the law. Nobody, there's no part of it that it's part of his job that you decide where they sit. And really, get to the chamber and make your point. And we'll all see what speaker will say. So that if they had gotten into the chamber, they made their point, and speaker said something otherwise, we will be here discussing that.
But if they had gotten to the chamber, their names were taken from originally where they were supposed to sit.
No problem.
One. That's the first
yes.
one. Now they get to the chamber, where would they sit?
No, they could sit. Why there were chairs there?
Are they at the side that shows they are minority?
No problem. But if you are minority, if they say you are minority and you are not minority, your numbers show that you are not minority.
But if by convention the minority side is sitting at the left
and I'm saying, you see, I'm saying that this was not going to continue forever. You see, the minority guys, the NDC guys, they are enjoying this whole. Now, Atufosin says they should vote them out because they are not serious. They don't have any business to do. They are enjoying this. But you have business to do. You have business to do. They enjoy this. You have business to do. You don't follow them into the rabbit hole. You don't do that. So they are leading you to a place you don't have to be, but a place that they may want to be. And you are following them. You don't do that. Get into the chamber, make your point. And the sitting thing is not even law. Make your point. If it is something you have to vote for, it is your numbers that will show.
Okay.
And I think they should have gotten into the chamber, irrespective of where they would sit. And they should raise the point. I'm not sure if Afenyomakin was on his feet. The speaker will not recognize and call him. He would call him and he will make his point. He will call on the speaker to make a submission on the Supreme Court, whether that has come to his notice, whether he's been served with the Supreme Court order. The speaker will say yes or no. They will know where to pick it from. Yes, Mr. Speaker, we understand the Supreme Court so has served you on this and so. Has it come to your notice? Speaker will say yes or no. The other questions will follow. The other comments will follow. You don't leave. So now we're going to spend extra money. It's not correct. I think this could have been handled better.
Okay.
But I don't see it happening. And yesterday the question was asked the speaker. He responded by singing an old song. He said it's too late, something. You know, it's not correct.
Remember last week I sat here and I said the recall of this parliament will not be necessary if we don't resolve this particular matter. And it looks like my prediction came to pass, even though I'm not a prophet, because you have an issue you have an issue where you've not even resolved the matter, and yet there's going to be a recall of the house, and it was never going to happen. But for me, Vivian, I feel that if we want to resolve this matter, the only person who can resolve this matter is Mr. Speaker. He's the only person who can bring a finality to what we are seeing.
What must he do?
Okay. So, he made a pronouncement, or a declaration, or a ruling, anyhow people want to describe it. And there's an issue with this. Someone sent it to court. The Supreme Court has come in. The Supreme Court said what he did wasn't right and what. So, just show some respect to the Supreme Court's decision. And say that, well, because the Supreme Court has come in or intervened in this matter, I put on hold my earlier ruling until the Supreme Court resolve this particular matter. And then we can know the way forward. And so my earlier ruling is on hold. Just this pronouncement, Vivian, will bring everything to rest. We heard the minority members or the NDC caucus tell us that until they hear the speaker speak, they still hold themselves as the majority. And when they come, they will sit where the majority sits. The MPP caucus also says that this is not where you are supposed to sit. The Supreme Court has come in. So go back to wherever you are sitting. And Speaker is quiet over this matter. Yesterday at the press conference, I listened to him very well. And at a point, he was throwing jabs. There was a point where he was asked a question or so, and he made reference to Barack Obama's statement that we should let institutions work, but not strong men.
Yeah.
And the Speaker added, it's good he didn't add women.
Yeah.
Who was he referring to? We all know who he's referring to, just like he didn't mention a name. And I see a power play here between the Speaker and the Chief Justice, the judiciary and Parliament. I see a power play here. And if these two important, at a point in time, in his statement, he said the President and the Chief Justice have colluding to sin against the Constitution. Really? And so I still maintain that he is the only person who can bring a finality to this matter. If the Speaker comes out to say that, there's a Supreme Court matter, just hold on to this, blah, 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 we'll come back to Parliament and all this matter will end. Secondly, the life of this Parliament was supposed to last for only 3 weeks. As Salam says, we've done more than 3 weeks. Now, his agendas, this current Parliament, which I thought wasn't right, because if you say you don't meet or we don't form the quorum because the majority or the MPP side is not in the chamber, what stops the Speaker from suspending the House 5, 10, 15, 1 hour and sending the clerk to go and ask or find out why the majority side or the MPP side is not in the House?
But they also called for the House to come.
Yes.
Why were they somewhere else?
The argument is that they were having a meeting.
They should have prompted.
I heard.
Did the Speaker know?
I mean, they could have had a meeting before the 10 o'clock.
I heard a senior member of their side, Kennedy Japan, address a press conference after the majority that said. And says that maybe on their side they erred by not informing the Speaker about this particular thing.
That's it.
But even if they didn't inform the Speaker, Vivian, and the Speaker is supposed to conduct business with the MPP side, and you come into the chamber and there's only one side, is it just right and proper that you ask where is the other side? It's just right and
you
proper.
Said, come and let's have business.
I've called you to come.
Now you
yes,
are not
and
there.
I'm not around.
And
find out why I'm not around.
Yeah, that's it. So yes, I get the point.
Find out why I'm not around.
Great point.
Suspend the House 5, 10, 15 minutes or 30 minutes, and not indefinitely.
No, indefinitely to go and look for you wherever you are.
and will it take forever to find them?
Yeah,
no,
it's difficult to find.
And we are told that at this particular recall or the last recall that they came, an amount of 65 million cedis was allocated for their comeback. 65 million. I heard Apenyo Markin say on Eyewitness News.
Going into what?
When you record them, it costs money.
This particular...
It costs money to record.
You have to do a few things to the conference center and all of that.
Yes.
By any time you record them, you take care of their transportation. You take care of a lot of
because
things.
they are in their various constituencies
so it's
wherever they
expensive
are.
to recall Parliament.
Yes.
So that's why the minority, the Atoforsen and Co. were saying that financial loss is being caused because you bring us here and you are not there. So yeah, great point Sammy makes, right? That is what happens in normal times when everything is fine. But now everybody is trying to flex their muscle.
Yeah.
Everybody is flexing their muscle. Yesterday you heard the Speaker say that he started the Supreme Court, he started going there in 1983. The first time we went there was in 1983. And he wonders if the people going there today were born. You know, he was referring to. He was referring to Avenue and Co. Avenue is a younger guy, but of course, I'm sure he was born before 83. But that was a shit. He's a politician. He's been in that house since 1993.
And that is not helping. His posturing in this matter is not helping.
I'm saying that.
His posturing in this matter is not helping.
See, Sammy, when something is happening, you deal with the part you have control over. Somebody who has nothing to lose, you don't depend on that person. If I have an issue with you and I have nothing to lose and I'm doing the thing the way I want, but still within the confines of the law, you need me to do something. You have to come to me properly. You have to come to me properly. Say, he's not a member of the house. He doesn't determine business. He doesn't determine business, but he presides. And he came, he was there, and you didn't come. He didn't know where you are, where you were, whether you were. And then this guy was saying, they have tricked us. They brought us here, and they are their constituencies campaigning so that we will lose our seats for not campaigning. People have a lot of things they say. I mean, all sorts of things they say about this. I'm saying that the side that has a lot to lose is the side that must extend the olive branch. If you don't extend the olive branch, the situation will persist. And who loses? You say you want tax exemption for people. You said you want to pass free SHS bill into law. You want to pass JB Dankwa University bill, some other universities bill, and a lot of things you say you want to do. You have to show that you are really in for it. Even if you were in a caucus meeting, you could have done the meeting yesterday. You could have done it earlier in the day. All right? So all these things, everybody thinks they are right. So if we all think we are right, we will not make progress. That's why I'm saying that some of these issues must not be dealt with legally. We must use political means to solve it. The Supreme Court, yes, it's great. But are we making progress? Let's pray that the Supreme Court on the 11th, as they said, will be able to deliver a judgment so that we see a finality to this. And even if finality is brought to this, the House has been adjourned sine die or indefinitely. It may take a few days for the House to
They might not even come up because after 20th or even 15th,
so in all
members
of this,
of Parliament may not come back to the House because they will be busy campaigning in their various.
That's exactly the point I'm making.
And so even if after the Supreme Court ruling and after 15th, 16th, 17th, even on the 20th of November, you will not find a single soul come back to Parliament because they are busy in their constituencies.
Who would have lost?
The entire Parliament.
No, yes, the
entire Parliament.
Yeah, but I'm saying that this in
the entire Parliament at the cost to citizens.
That is so. But
taxpayers.
I'm saying that,
including you and I.
I know. We're on the same page. I'm saying that this affects one side of the House more, but they have business to run. They have things they want to do. The other side may want to be disruptive, so that you lose favor in the sight of people. Election is coming. You heard Atu Forcing today. He said they are not ready to do any business. We should vote them out. That is the message. But you don't want that. So your approach should be different. Your approach should rather be conciliatory, not fiery. No. If you do so, the man you are dealing with, he knows his onions, he knows his stuff. He will use the rules to dribble you, and that's what we have seen.
Salome, I still maintain that the only person who can resolve this matter is Mr. Speaker. And if care is not taken, Vivian, this Parliament will end the way it is. And this matter will never be resolved until the life of this Parliament ends, which is some few weeks to come. Because the election is 7th December, MPs will be busy campaigning their constituency from the 20th. So for me, Parliament has ended. This life of Parliament has ended. It started in chaos, and it is ending in chaos. Finish.
Yeah, but I think that, I mean, there are a few things I work with. If I need you to do something, and I'm not in control of the situation, my approach surely should be different. The approach in the last Parliament cannot be the approach in this Parliament. That is the approach they are using. And it is not working. If it is not working, you change the approach. I'm not sure that if the way that, what's the name? Council of State went to see the Speaker. Speaker gave them audience. I'm sure we made some progress from there. Just after that, we heard that the House was going to be recalled. Speaker would have spoken his heart out. Get some things like that done. What stops the president, who has the executive branch of government, to call his colleague who has a legislative arm to have a discussion? They are politicians. They've known themselves. They are lawyers. They've been in the same house for many years. That this, so and so, let's do this. After that, you send Afenyo Makin to him and Chief Whip or whoever. Let them go and talk. Let them discuss things. Things will work. That is how the House has worked all along. Why should it be different this time around? So if you want to to assume a hardliner position, you will not make progress. And the man doesn't care. He says he knows what he's doing. And indeed, nobody can say that what he's doing is outside of the law. He's working within the law. So if everybody is working with the law, everybody is stuck to their position, we cannot make progress. Let's make overtures. Let's use other means to get this done.
Okay. Great stuff. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Salam Adonu and Sami Yafi. My name is Vivian Kai Lokko. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you again next time. Goodbye.